Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the Cockney Magpie in its new home of Newcastle Fans TV. I hope we're all good. I hope you haven't missed us all too much. I'm here with two fantastic opening guests for the week. I have got Shade all the way from the USA. How you going, Shade?
Doing well. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me again.
Always, man. Welcome guest to the show. And we've got Mr. Happy from Anyone. How are you doing, Graham?
Yeah, I'm all right. All the way from Fenham.
Sunny Fenham.
Yeah.
The only Geordie on a programme talking about Geordies, so that's always interesting.
Yeah.
I love the backlash I normally get. There's no such thing as a Cockney Magpie, you know. It doesn't exist. Hi, I'm the Cockney Magpie. Nice to meet you all.
What are you doing? You're not from around here. You're not allowed to support Newcastle. What is that all about?
Why would you choose? Why would you choose? I was born into it. Into it by the grace of my family. So I'm here for the long term. I've been here for the long run. So some good memories, though. That's what we're here to talk about today. We are strictly positivity, no negativity. We don't talk about the current ongoings and the mishaps and misdemeanors of Mr. Bruce and Mr. Ashley. We're going to talk about the good times. That's what we're all about, and that's how I like to roll. So I'm going to start with Shade, and we're going to talk about our favourite players this week. We're going to see if we agree, disagree. Just keep it friendly. Keep it non-Twitter. And blast a Shade. Favourite players, man.
Man, put me on the spot first, eh?
Absolutely. My co-host isn't here, so I can't stitch her up, so it's all on you.
All right, fair enough. I can take it. Well, I mean, I think most people that know me fairly well know that I'm a lot newer of a fan than everybody else. So how I kind of chose to do it was I like to read a lot about the good old days, and obviously I came into Newcastle during the Mike Ashley regime and everything like that, and I still think that there's a lot of positivities to take away from that, and I still think that there were a lot of great players that we've had, regardless of the current state of affairs. So I kind of chose two lists, but I'll go with a kind of newer favorite first. And for me, going into the 2012 season and getting my first match in and stuff like that, it was definitely Cabaye. I loved him, and he's just a part of that magic that gave me the bug that is everything that I am now and everything like that. And I was really good at
the absolute dream boat. Honestly,
and he just looked so beautiful while he did it.
Oh, honestly, he used to turn me on. I'm not even gonna lie. Like that man was incredible.
Made me question myself quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. I mean, he made my wife jealous. So
he's just one of them players, isn't he? He had the lot. He had the looks. He had the skill. He had everything about him was just like you wanted him to be in your team, and he was a fantastic player. Yeah, absolutely loved him.
And I know he gets bashed a lot for kind of wanting to leave and everything like that, and I don't try to focus on the sour endings because I think we've had quite a few of those with great players, and I really just I really appreciated everything that he gave, especially me coming into the into the club and everything like that, everything that he gave on the pitch, and the magic that he did. So like I love him. I'll love him till the day I die. It's just
Have you got a favorite Cabaye goal?
I have a favorite Cabaye assist, which is actually taking part of my time away from my favorite matches that I've been to. But I guess I could talk about that right now. It was, and we can talk about it more in depth when we go on about the matches. But it was 2013. We played Chelsea at home. Mourinho was manager. We were 0-0 just before the half, and then we got a free kick. We lined up, and before Cabaye went to take his kick, Alan Pardew called him over to the sidelines and whispered something in his ear, and he went back, popped it into the top corner, and I think it was Gouffran got the goal. Mm-hmm. And it was just so perfect because, like, you could just see it was already premeditated. Like, Alan Pardew, love him, hate him, whatever, right? But that was just one of those magical moments where it was just really nice, and the whole stadium erupted, and it just and we ended up winning that match as well, 2-0, courtesy of Loic Remy. But that was definitely one of my favorite Kabay moments in my earlier years supporting the club.
I do remember that goal. It was outstanding. But we all know Pardew was whispering, I've got 10-1 on good for our next goal scorer. Let's be honest.
I know, right?
But no, those seasons were fantastic, man. Kabay is a top choice. Have you got any more kicking about in your locker, or there's got to be more in this? Yeah, man. Come on, keep listening to me.
I mean, yeah, like Demba Ba, of course, you know, and he got the first goal that I ever saw at St. James Park against Norwich, Chris Hughton's return. And you know, that when the stadium erupted for the first time, like I mean, I've told you before, I tell everybody, it was like I was a tourist. I became a Geordie after I just saw that eruption, and it was just amazing and intoxicating, and just I had never seen anything so passionate in my life. And I was
something
like,
else.
I was like, I need to be a part of this forever, as long as I can be. And so, you know, Demba Ba gave me that, and he was a great servant for the club. He was a great striker for us, and you know, you know, he just retired, and I wish him well. And it's even crazier, actually, totally random. He owns a professional club in San Diego, 1904.
Nice. Is that your American team, isn't it? Is that the one you've been going to?
Yeah, I've been going to their matches. It's like, it's lower league, but it's proper fun. And so it's weird how like this weird Demba Ba kind of followed me to San Diego now.
He might turn up. You never know. Yeah. The geese are still a baller.
I'm like, come on, just do a retirement season in Division III American. You'll raise some money for your club that you own, mate, because people would come out for that.
Just stuck the strawberry syrup up, man. I'm sure he'll come flying over. You know? Like, what a player. Like, honestly, I genuinely think he's probably the best striker we've had since Euro. And I don't think anyone else has come close yet.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'll even add Mr. Wilson into that because I don't think he's quite there. I think Demba Ba was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with that. But Andy Carroll, when he first burst on the scene, he was cracking.
Yeah, he was big lad. Bullied the championship, didn't he, that first season?
Yeah.
Absolutely sensational. We'll give Graham a chance. Come on, Big G.
All right.
G Money, come on.
I'm not going to go for a recent player at the minute, but I'm not going to go for one of the obvious choice because everyone says Alan Shearer or Alan Shearer.
That's because Alan Shearer is the greatest footballer in living history, and I'd marry him. I'm not even going to lie. We'll put it out there early doors. I'd get rid of my missus for Shearer.
All right, well, Alan, if you're watching,
Alan, if you're listening,
if I had a missus, I'd give him to her. Or give
Why are we letting her have the fun? Come on now.
But yeah, Tino Asprilla.
Baller.
So basically, my first game was a very, very memorable one. It was 3-2 of Barcelona, and that's basically part of the reason why he's one of my favorite players I've seen. He was just wasn't he? He was absolutely mental. But
yeah, he was a lunatic, man. Like,
he would do things that you would just go, how have you done that? What are you doing? And his leap and the height he could get to head the ball was just outstanding. It was incredible. Honestly, I loved him like bonkers. But
yeah.
Everyone loves a bonkers player.
They're the best players, aren't they? The lunatics are the ones that you're sort of like, I love you. Like the celebration and just... I've always got every time someone says Tino Asprilla, I get that image of him in the sheepskin coat in the snow. And that's all I ever see is that. And obviously the Barcelona game. But he was just underrated, you know.
Yeah.
Like massively underrated. I don't think people realise quite how good he was or how good we were as a team back then.
I wish he stayed longer as well.
Yeah.
We say that about a lot of players, like Demba Ba's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he was only with us for like 18 months.
18 months,
He should have stayed with us for like 2, 3, 4 years or whatever.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
But there's loads of players like that. I mean, there's Jonathan Woodgate. He was there for a year, and he's probably one of the best centre backs I've ever seen in a Newcastle shirt. So,
I'd back you on that. You know, I have this argument a lot, and I put him as one of the top 2 or 3 I've ever seen. I'm not saying ever, but from when I supported Newcastle in the late 90s, I put Woodgate up there as one of the best.
Yeah.
He's the one that went to Real Madrid, right?
Yeah,
He is, yeah.
His
He's not
name.
the player to say, right?
He does.
I mean,
John
other
don't
than
talk about that.
Munoz, of course, in a few years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't think Big Woody likes talking about his Real Madrid time. To be fair, it wasn't the best, was it?
Dunno. He had
What's
a
a
cracking
debut?
debut. Like,
Yeah. I was about to say, what's a debut? Red card, lone goal. Woo.
You know, I
brilliant.
went to the Bernabeu a few years ago, and we did a tour of the stadium and everything, and we were like looking for anything with him in it in that entire museum, and we found one squad card with his picture in it. Like that was it. We're like, there he is, one of us.
Legend, yeah, proper. He was. Do you know what? I think we would have won the UEFA Cup if he'd stayed fit. I think he would have kept Drogba very, very quiet in the second leg, and I think we would have won it. But that's just my opinion.
Don't like talking about that game.
No, it's horrible, wasn't it? Big Keith Roll. Thanks for the comment, mate. But yeah, I agree with Ketspire. He was another lunatic that was loved.
He doesn't like McDonald's.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like advertising. To be fair, like Jesus, like that celebration's got to be up there as one of the best celebrations I've ever seen. Shade, have you seen it? Have you ever seen a Ketspire celebration?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh my God, YouTube!
Oh, YouTube it after this, and
Okay.
just
Alright,
it'll be the top of the list. Just type in Ketspire, and
But
it'll be.
you know, like before he was kicking the boards, like it looked like he was going to take his boot off and just hurl it into the crowd. But
I think that's what his plan was.
Yeah. I don't know who it was that stopped him from doing it. So instead, he just booted the advertising
I don't
boards.
think he could get it off. If you watch the footage, it really looks like he struggles just to get his boot off.
He was
And you're
an
like,
absolute
wow.
psycho.
A lunatic, man. But we've had loads of them. I mean, I'm going to chat about it. One of my favourite ever players is Laurent Robert.
Oh,
Like, this man
Blizzard.
was better than Ginola. I'm going to say it. He was better than Ginola.
Not sure about that.
I'd have him in my left wing every single time over anyone you put in front of me. Robert.
Controversial.
And his leaving, as we're talking about lunatics, when he stripped down to his pants and threw all of his kit into the crowd.
Yeah. I mean,
It was like absolutely insane. But the man was a phenomenon. Like that left foot was something else. I mean, I don't know what your two thoughts are on LeBron.
oh, I loved him. I absolutely loved him. And he's another one that probably should have stayed longer, but that was.
Did he go
just
Derby?
He went to in the end, but he
Derby
went
and
to
Pompey.
Portsmouth.
Oh,
He went
Pompey.
to Portsmouth first, I think, on loan, and then he went to Derby afterwards, and then he ended up at like Laritza or something weird.
Yeah, some
weird
team,
Greek team.
But that man has scored some of the best goals that I've ever seen.
He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant, and the only thing that I would sort of maybe put a sort of dampener against his name was probably consistency.
But you don't need that when you play for us. I mean, we ever had consistency. Let's be honest. If he's scoring 50-yard crackers every week, I'm happy. Like,
yeah, true.
That man, like, I don't know for you, but one of my favourite goals was the ninja kick he did against Fulham. Please tell me you remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Shade, have you seen it?
Only on YouTube, of course. Yeah.
Mate, that goal or the two against Tottenham.
Which one's your favourite though?
What, against Spurs?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, everyone says, they're
Probably
the best two goals, but they never say which one's their favourite.
Probably the volley.
Yeah, same.
The volley that Shola set up.
It's really difficult technique. So, and he just made it look so easy as well. He was just like, I'll just follow this. Big
shout out, Gallagher Shots. Giving love to Shade. Shade's starting up a new channel. Gallagher Shots, new show. We'll have a talk about that at the end.
Sounds
Mr.
good.
Captain America. But the Robert, back to the Robert. The volley for me. The shot was sensational, but the volley was just disgusting.
Yeah.
But not his best goal was in the black and white shirt.
Go on then.
His best goal was the ninja goal against Fulham. I don't know how he did it. Like, it was disgusting.
Yeah, that was it was mad, and I liked his free kick against Man United.
Yeah,
I'm sure
thank
that
you
was
for
in
praising
his.
yourself.
I know. I'm
I
sure
was going
that
to kick off the stream if you'd finished that as just United. You were gone.
I'm
But-
I'm sure that was in his like second or third game or something stupid.
He just had like he was sensational.
Yeah,
Like
it was-
absolutely
it was
sensational.
brilliant.
Do you remember much about him, Shade, or do you know much about the Robert effect and how he was when he was
Only what
here?
I've read, and then obviously, you know, I knew about the stripping down celebration, and you know, but that's definitely one that I should do more of my homework on. I try
You
to read a
should,
classic book a month about like
Yeah.
you know former players and stuff like that, just to get my knowledge up.
You should read. Chris Wath did an interview with him in the Athletic. I think it was a couple of years ago now, and that was really
good,
interesting.
actually.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
went
That
over
man
the
lives the
scenes.
life.
I got a
You know?
membership for them, yeah.
Laurent Robert lives the life that everyone dreams of, like smoking fat cigars, eating steaks, and drinking red wine, and playing golf. That's all he does. If you follow his Instagram, that's all the man does all day, every day is drink wine, smoke cigars, and eat steak. So who's complaining? Like,
Yeah, and his son's playing in Scotland somewhere, isn't he?
yeah. He was linked with us, wasn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
I think he probably made the right choice, but
Yeah.
but no, all good. So who we got next, lads? Who's up? Shade, give us another one of yours.
Another one
Yeah, I want to see how many you got.
can go classic, I guess. The players that I never got to see.
Go on, give us a classic.
Yeah, for me it'd be Gaza. I love Gaza. I would have loved to have seen him play. Obviously, well before my time. You know, when I was just getting kind of new to Newcastle and everything like that, and really starting to like fall in love with the club and stuff. That documentary came out a couple years afterwards, and I just fell in love with him then. I mean, he's obviously very troubled in certain ways and stuff like that, but he was just a player that was magical, but also that off the pitch was in a lot of ways somebody that I could relate to as coming out of my crazy 20s. And then I read his book twice actually. But yeah, so he'd definitely be up there for me.
Definitely a big shout.
I would love to see him in that silver jersey with the star in the middle.
Yeah.
Or that 1987 with the black strip across. I would love to see that.
He was another lunatic though, wasn't he? Like
exactly. I mean, about lunatics, yeah.
It just shows you, doesn't it, how we just fall in love with the cranks.
Yeah, you know,
Like,
I never got to see him in the black and white, unfortunately, but I saw him play for England a couple of times, and he still had it then towards the end of his career, and he was just absolute genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the back end, you could just tell he always had that extra little bit about him, and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. And his brain just worked at 1,000 miles an hour, and it's just the sad side of Gaza that sort of killed his career, wasn't it? I agree with a lot of people that say if he'd gone to Manchester United, I think he would have had a much longer, better career and not be in the position he's in now in terms of the troubles he's had.
Yeah. I hate to admit that, right? But it's true. You know, he even talks about that in his book, and even Sir Alex talked about it, I think, in his book as well, saying that like one of his biggest regrets was not having guys on his squad, right?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
you know, and it, you know, like obviously my thoughts about Man United, that doesn't really matter. But in terms of speaking specifically about Gaza, you know, that club did have a way of managing not only celebrities, but celebrities that like, you know, had a bit, you know, had issues and stuff like that. They were kind of ahead of their time in that respect. And, you know, he went to Spurs. He really was just, you know, down in London on his own and kind of left to his own devices. And he's really just, you know, he was one of those kids that even though he was an adult, like he was still just an anxiety-ridden big kid. And, you know, and I'm not using these as excuses to justify some of the things that he's done later on in his life, because I'm not here to talk about any of those things. But I think specifically at the time, he needed that structure and guidance and that discipline and understanding that would have definitely happened for him at Manchester. And also he would have been closer to home. I think that would have been a good factor too, because he was really a family person and he loved being able to come home. And that was some of the troubles, is sometimes when he got into stuff or when he was in his head, he would just come back home and get in more trouble. Right. Yeah. And I think that would have helped as well, because he would have felt closer to home.
Definitely. I think being in the North would have helped him hugely. But what a talent he was. I mean, there's some fantastic stories about him. When you get a chance, read the one about him and Maradona at a charity event. I'm not going to go into it because I don't know if we're allowed. But have a read about it. It is, I think you know what I'm talking about, don't you, G?
Yeah.
You're on it. Yeah. Shade, have a look for it.
We're not past the watershed yet, so we can't.
Yeah, exactly. It's an incredible story. Keith, I've not seen that goal. I'm going to have a watch of it. How you said it. Keith is popping out some fantastic stats tonight for us to go back and have a look at, but I'm definitely going to watch that if it's that good. We'll have a little date.
Well, Keith.
Graham, give me another one.
Can I throw you a really random one out for you?
I like random. Am I going to have heard of him, to be fair?
Thing is, right, because people are just going to be like, what are you talking about and stuff. And Alan Smith for me.
Oh, what, Smudge?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was so excited when Smudge joined the club.
Yeah, well, same. But people... The problem is, when he joined, people were talking about him as a striker. And yeah, at the start of his career, he was mint with Leeds, and but then he went to Man United and he played predominantly in centre mid, and he was phenomenal, like the tough tackling centre mid, and he was brilliant. And then he came to us, and he was similar, really. He just put in a proper shift, and it was
do you know what? He was quality in the Championship.
Yeah, he was. You know what? It was. We had such a good team in that Championship season, that first one. We had the likes of Nicky Butt, who is tremendously underrated, by the way.
Started off poorly, though, didn't he?
He did, but he turned it around.
He did. No, he really did.
You had the likes of him, Nicky Butt, Joey Barton, Kevin Nolan.
Lunatic. Yeah.
Peter Lovenkrands as well, and like characters like that, and you need that in the Championship, anyways. But Smudge for me was just, I loved him, but I don't know why, but a lot of people sort of they criticised him a lot for his time here.
They expected goals.
Yeah, I didn't look at it from that point of view. I knew we were signing a centre mid. Mm-hmm. And just from that point of view, I thought it was outstanding for us. I loved him.
I liked him, I'm not ashamed of it. I got Smudge on the back of his shirt when he first signed. It was that, do you remember that weird European shirt with the really high blue collar?
Yeah,
the pin shirt. I got Smudge on the back of that, and it's sitting in my wardrobe somewhere, secretly hiding. And I, as I say, I was excited when he signed. I thought he was going to be class. And I was expecting goals, I'll be honest. I thought he was going to come and bring goals, but what he did produce was fantastic.
Yeah, I just don't know why people were of that opinion though. When he played predominantly centre mid at Man United, and he was there for a good few years as well. So I just don't get that opinion. I think maybe people just completely forgot that he played for Man United, even though we were signing from, even though we were, he signed from them. It was just really weird that people automatically thought that we were sort of signing the Leeds Alan Smith. It was really
definitely. Definitely. But he brought that midfield together, and I think, as Chris is saying there, I think bringing Routledge into that team made a huge difference. Like, he was class that Championship season as well.
It was. There was a few very, I'll say, underwhelming yet excellent signings.
Yeah.
I mean, Routledge was brilliant, and
was that when we signed Pancrati?
Pancrat, yeah.
He scored that worldie against Watford.
Watford, yeah.
That's another one for you to look up, Shade.
All right.
Waiting to see that goal. This geezer had no right.
Getting homework now. I'm okay with it. I'm over here just taking notes. I love it.
It's just so many, man. Like, he was one of the, Routledge was class. Like, he was superb in that season. He played just off the wing, and he was fantastic. He's one of those that you forget about, though, isn't he? Like, he just... He was great for us, but then he left, and you're like, oh, right, he's gone. So move on.
Yeah, it's Same as Danny Simpson, really. Like
Underrated, hugely underrated.
Yeah, people forget about him sometimes, and you realise what a fantastic player he was. Is he retired now? Was
No, I think he's at Bristol
Huddersfield.
City. No, I think he went Bristol City. You know.
Yeah,
I don't think we've had a decent right back since him, to be honest.
yeah, I agree with that, and he was great as well. So, but again, he was sort of like an underwhelming signing because got him from Man United, didn't we? And
Yeah,
and he was only young, so
he
it
was.
like, it was just one of them where you were just like, oh well, we'll see how it goes, and he turned out to be mint.
Class, look what he did at Leicester. I mean, Christ, our first choice right back for them. He was outstanding all season. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, good memories of that team. Like that championship team were so good.
Yeah.
So good.
But
we're gonna
that actually because I just finished Joey Barton's book and he talks a lot about that in it.
Yeah, it's just good memories. I think as hard as it was going down, I think we needed that reset.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading a comment.
Hey,
they were good, man. But I don't like Jan Maat.
To admit this, I have a Jan Maat top. Okay.
I liked him. Do you know what? Debussy was good, but like,
I'm not having that.
I felt like they forced away moves too quickly.
They didn't get time to. I mean, I can't remember. Did Jan Maat want to leave?
Yeah, he was desperate.
Arsenal. Yeah, and Jan Maat was desperate to leave.
I don't think he ever wanted to be here, to be fair.
Yeah.
No, there's that famous picture, isn't there, when Jan Maat scores against Spurs on the last day and the bloke's just giving him the middle finger as he runs away celebrating. I'd give you Debussy was class. Debussy was a lot better than Jan Maat. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but he completely vanished after he left us. Like he just
did he go Watford and then I think he's gone.
No, he went to Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, Debussy went Arsenal.
Debussy went to Arsenal. I mean, they both disappeared.
Yeah.
He went back to France, didn't he?
He went to Saint-Maximin, and now he's still playing somewhere. But
well, he can come back if he wants. I'll take him.
No.
Like,
hey.
Oh yeah, I love Manquillo. I love Manquillo.
Yeah, I was going to say we should be starting Manquillo. Come on.
Jeez. I love Manquillo. Do you know what? I've rated Manquillo.
He's our new striker. Haven't you heard the news? Didn't you see the club announcement?
We only signed players from Mexico.
Oh god.
Ni Juan. But good memories. See, they're the good memories. That's where you get your decent banter, not your next level death threat Twitter banter.
Yeah.
No, I thought Jan Maat was really exciting. Even if he didn't want to be there, he still had moments where he was really exciting. And I don't know, maybe I just have a love for right backs for some reason, but
they're not lunatic enough. They're not mental enough.
Yeah.
So let's kick it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you bang on the spot now, Shade.
All right.
Your all-time number one favourite player.
Ooh,
but I want from you, I want one that you've physically seen.
Okay.
And one that you just rate. And it's not allowed to be Shearer.
Of course, right? Yeah, we can't go there. All right, my all-time favorite player that I've seen. I mean, that's tough because we've already talked about Kabay and Ba, and I was only there, I was only living in the 4 years. But my all-time favorite.
You can name one of those two. I won't hold it against you.
No, he's not allowed.
No. We'll go with another one that I've seen that I love as well. I mean, like, I know we've got a history of great goalkeepers, and we still have, pretty good goalkeepers as well. But I love Tim Krul. And I love that he was, raised through the system and stuff like that, and he played with his heart. And
what a nice bloke as well.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like. My little lad's got a pair of his gloves from a couple of seasons ago, and that was just because he waved at him and he came over and gave him his gloves. And he's just genuinely a really, really nice bloke.
He was one of the players. I bumped into him in town one time when I was living out there too, and I just, we had lost that match and everything. I just said hi, and he was, he was with his mates and and stuff like that, and he had no problem, just talking to me for a little bit and everything like that. And I just thought that was really nice. But he also, he played with his heart and. Those are the players that for me, you can have better players that don't play with their heart. Like, we've had some good loans that that are great players, but they don't get it. And and he played with his heart, and he was a good servant for us. And and I still obviously I'd rather have Norwich get relegated than us, but I still want him to do well because he's still he's still fighting in between the sticks and everything like that.
Just not against us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
When he plays up, he gets a middle finger treatment.
Him, and I love Cisse, and but obviously if I had to pick between Cisse and Ba, I'd pick Ba.
All day.
Yeah, he was just fantastic, and I really, really, I kind of came in more towards the end of the Ben Arfa days and stuff like that, and so a lot of the magic that I know about Ben Arfa was unfortunately kind of, dribbling away when I showed up.
But he had a few too many KFCs, you mean?
Exactly. Yeah, everything like that.
And went and fell out with Steve Bruce at Hull. Not saying a single word.
But I tend to like those players that just they love to be there and they give that little extra because of it.
The heart and soul players, man. They're the teams.
They're
the players that just make you fall in love with the team.
Yeah, and then if you want to go all-time favorite kind of player that didn't have the heart and soul for us, I was, that I've seen live, either probably Wijnaldum or Loic Remy. I think that they were both fantastic players. They didn't have the passion and they didn't understand what it meant to play for Newcastle, but they played well and they were amazing players. And with everything that Wijnaldum's done since, I'm really pleased that I got to see him at the start of his career in a black and white shirt. Even though we got relegated with him, he still, had a fantastic season for us. And I really enjoyed that. I'm grateful that I got to witness that because that was my last season before I moved back to the States.
I think that's a touch harsh on Genie, though. I think he did. No, I think he did get it and he understood.
Yeah, maybe
he understood us, but I mean, he did. When we went down, he didn't whinge or anything. Not that.
Yeah, no, and he's been dead respectful to us and everything. Yeah. And I think that that's great. I'll always have a kind of, the ship jumpers. There's always going to be a tarnish there for me.
Yeah.
But I still did love him.
I still respect him because when we went down, he didn't kick up a fuss or anything like that.
No. Not like the rest of them.
Yeah, he wasn't like
no, you're right.
Or Janmat or whatever like that. He just kept his mouth shut and just went about it the right way.
Definitely, Ginny was class, man. Ginny was fantastic. But I think I saw an interview with him and he said he got sold the club and he just fell in love.
Yeah,
and I mean you can't blame him for jumping ship to Liverpool.
No, and I mean look at the career he's got now. It's insane, right? now he's at PSG with Messi and everything. That's just crazy.
Never heard of him, me. Who's Messi? Messi.
Oh, yeah.
At least
I don't know. Man United didn't sign him, so we haven't heard about him.
Oh, my God. My dad's a Manchester United fan, and all I've had for 2 weeks is Ronaldo. And all right, I gave it a bit. Well, he's old. He's shit. He's not going to do anything. And obviously, I then triple captained him and put a bet on him scoring. So
I didn't triple cap him. I saved that for double game weeks, but I did cap him.
Yeah.
I know better. Come on,
he's a phenomenon.
He's our defense, as well. And he is older, but I was talking about this with my mate actually, and I don't want to harp on Ronaldo too much, but it's he is older, right? And he can't do a lot of the things that he used to do. But because of his experience and his work rate and his knowledge of the game, he just capitalizes on weak defense and mistakes. Mm-hmm. And obviously with the first goal against, with Woodman's assist, right? He capitalized on that and he was gunning for it because, we were marking him pretty well. And then he was going to figure us out because our defense is easy to figure out.
Definitely
not a world-class player,
yeah. He just knows. He's the sort of player that just knows. And
his movement's amazing.
He's incredible. He's such a good player. But I mean, you'd never have known about the deal, would you? Really? I mean, Man United haven't milked it at all.
No, it was it was a surprise to me. I knew nothing about it.
I don't even go on Twitter, to be fair.
No, me neither.
Being at the pub being at the pub out here, right, where you're either a Man United, Chelsea, or Liverpool supporter, or maybe a Leicester supporter. Oh God, that was
glory.
brutal. Saturday, 7 a.m. I'm like trying not to neck my pints too quickly because
I would have been on the tequilas, me.
In love with Ronaldo, yeah.
Oh, I get it. I do get it, but I don't like it.
I would have
Especially
just
as it's them.
Yeah, I would have just gone in a Brazilian shirt with Ronaldo on the back.
Yeah, the proper Ronaldo, the best Ronaldo ever, mate. Like, if he'd had a full career, he would have blitzed all these records.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But let's stop talking about them shitbags.
Yeah.
And let's move on to Big G. Big G. Right. I want your favourite. I'm going to mix this up. I want your favourite current.
Oh, God.
And I want your all-time favourite. Because Shades, like, he's only got a few years where he's actually been like, you've got a lifetime.
I know. That's why I've got no hair.
What do you mean? Look at that. That is a beard.
No, I'm
That's
jealous
a Messiah
beard. That beard, okay?
Like,
you got two on me, mate.
If you grow that much longer, we have to just tie it around the back and
that's the plan.
It'd be like a new kind of comb over. Yeah.
Just do it.
Favorite current player. You know what? I'm gonna end with that because that one's too difficult. My favorite past player, not including Shearer, is Gary Speed.
Shout.
Without a doubt.
Big shout.
He could do everything. Head in, pass in. He could score from distance. He could score a tap in. His runs into the box were just, well, it's what I would like to say. Frank Lampard must have watched videos of Gary Speed because
Definitely.
he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And he was just outstanding. Left foot, right foot. He could do everything.
Header, man. He had the lot. You're right.
But he did all the donkey work, but he made it look like glorious. Like, yeah, I can't speak any higher of the guy. He was outstanding, and I met him outside St James's before a game. I think it was just before Portsmouth. I think it might have been 2003 or 4. I think. Long time ago now. He spoke to us for like 5-10 minutes before he went in. He was brilliant. Loved him. But as a player, he was just out of this world and scaringly underrated still.
Hugely underrated.
I don't think many people really appreciated how good he was. And like, he was one of the first names on the team sheet. Every single team he played for, and for years and years. If you look at his time at Leeds as well, with Strachan and McAllister, that midfield was unreal. And he left Newcastle, and people thought he was done. Like, people thought, he's going to retire or whatever. Went to Bolton, and he played on for another 4 or 5 years, and then he went to Sheffield United.
It was class for them as well.
Yeah.
Like, hell of a player.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. One of the best we've had, and what a man as well.
Yeah. And, oh, God. Now it's a tough one, isn't it?
I could give you some leeway, but I'm not going to. I like to watch the squirm, to be honest.
All right.
Good. I'm glad it's not me for a change.
Can I have 2?
Go on, as long as one's not saint-maximin.
Damn, right, okay.
No, you can have Maxi. I'm joking.
All right.
Gotta have Maxi.
One is obviously Alan, because he follows me on Twitter, so we're on first name basis.
Best pals.
Hi, Al.
He's definitely watching. I mean, he loves Newcastle Fans TV. We all know that. So,
like, just what he can do with the ball is just ridiculous. Like, he's just insane, isn't he? And like, just enjoy him while he's here.
Definitely.
Because he's not going to be here for that long, unfortunately.
Well, I made the mistake of slagging him off in a group chat that me and Graham are both in, and it was a long afternoon. To be fair.
Soz.
It's all right. It's all right. It wasn't just you.
And yeah, no. Well, you did deserve it, to be fair. And my other one, it's a bit left field, and people are gonna be like, "What are you on?" Paul Dummett. Love him.
No,
Mr. Reliable, man.
Yeah.
Love him.
I love him. Yeah, no,
I didn't expect you to say that, but I love him. Yeah.
You know why, right? Alan Pardew was told him he was done and we were going to sell him. He turned it around, and he was literally in every single side, first name on the team sheet with every single manager since, including Pardew. And if we do play five at the back, he is the most naturally gifted defender that we have. People say that, it's Shaw or Fernandez. Not for me, it's Dummett.
Yeah, no, Dummett's quality.
And he's also like, just going back to what we were talking about with those players that get it, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, you take the injuries away and stuff like that. He's so versatile, but he's also he loves our club. It's so obvious. Like, how could it not be? And he plays with that extra love and stuff like that. And it's just a shame that he's got so many injury problems. It really is, because
definitely.
He's a huge miss in that defense. Like,
I totally agree with you.
Honestly,
totally agree.
But yeah.
Keith with the big shout, Nobby Solano.
See, I was gonna say him, but I was trying to be less obvious with my shouts. But
there's so many, isn't there? There's so many nostalgic ones that you could reel off. You've got Shearer, Ferdinand, Batty, Rob Lee, Solano. There's just Gillespie. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. But I think the best thing to do is to try and go right wing and just not go for the obvious. Yeah, but we're gonna throw one more. Go on,
for the obvious, anyways. So it's probably better that you went a little less obvious.
And you missed out Miggy as well, which for me is quality. I love Miggy, and I won't have anything bad said against him because I love him. So don't you even dare.
Nah, I'm shutting my mouth. Oh, see, he's in that much huff.
So. One comment about Miggy, and then it's all gone. You know,
well, we're taking over. So
I guess so. So Miggy, no, I'm kidding.
Shall we diss Miggy or
no, we won't. We won't.
No,
but man, I thought we were like, oh, he's serious about not hearing anything negative about Miggy over here.
I don't know what happened. Someone followed me on Twitter and it just went wrong.
I thought you just went off in a huff, so then we started.
I you know what, I won't admit it, but my phone did get thrown against the wall. But
yeah, well, we were just watch it back. We were saying terrible things about Miggy. So
I love Miggy.
Love
him.
Yeah.
Just that smile, man. I'd baby him. Like, honestly, he's such a lovely, lovely lad. But we got a question from Keith. Go on. What were you going to say for our opinion?
No, I was just going to say, like, if we watch this back, then our partners are going to have serious questions to ask about.
No, there's no serious questions when it's Newcastle United. You're allowed to fall in love with players.
All right, cool.
Like, I've got a list. Yeah, we won't get into it, right? So, Shade, you touched on this, but I'm going to ask the question. This is from Keith. Who is your favourite all-time NUFC goalkeeper?
Oh.
I'm going to be Captain Obvious. Mine is Shay Given.
Oh.
I don't think there's a better goalkeeper that we've had.
You weren't going to give me the obvious. Come on.
I'm stealing it.
Can I go?
I'm taking it. Yeah, go on. You go.
Right. Check for me.
Pavel.
Oh, that would have been mine.
All right, you can have that one.
That would have been mine. And obviously, you know, you guys had him, right? You got to see him and everything like that. But like, I read his book and I fell in love with him as a person, as well as how hard he worked and how much he loved our club. Like, and then obviously, you know, being, you know, he was one of our first ever international players. He was the first player to come out of is the Czech Republic, right? Yeah. He was the first ever Czech Republic player to come into the Prem, and I loved everything he had to say, and everything he had to say about being a foreigner living in Newcastle, and then also being adopted by all the Geordies. Like, it just resonated with me so much, and so like he's my next after obviously Tim Krul, because because that's who I had picked, right?
We'll take all the good ones, man. We've
Yeah.
had a few.
Hislop wasn't bad either.
Yeah, I love Shaka.
Big Shaka
daily on ESPN Plus.
What if the rumors are true? Right. We're going to kick one more. I've got favourite manager, and then we're going to talk about our favourite games. Who's going first?
So are we going
Shades on it.
I've seen?
No, you go.
That would be
go
depressing.
For your favourite manager, because you've had some shit ones.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, of the ones I've seen, it's going to be Rafa.
Surely it's got to be Pardew out of those.
Yeah.
Fucking
I thought it was going to be
Rafa.
Jesus. Second spell. Yeah, it was definitely Kinnear's second spell.
Johan Kebab.
All right, I'll go first. I'll go obvious. Keegan.
KK.
Yeah.
Big shot.
Or maybe not. Maybe, I mean, there's two obvious, right? But
okay.
I'll take Keegan off the board.
Yeah. All right. Because I know Josh is gonna say Sir Bobby, so
yeah.
I'm gonna.
You know nothing.
But
yeah, Sir Bobby.
Yeah, I'm gonna be different, and I'm gonna say Glenn Roeder.
Oh,
good shout! Good shout.
Great shout.
Because he came in at such a difficult time, and he absolutely just turned it around.
Yeah,
and he was brilliant. He was underrated, and
he was great. He was fantastic.
We had some.
I remember meeting him outside St James's Park. The day before he got announced officially, I actually bumped into him, and he stood there for 35 minutes with me and had a chat. And then let slip that he was about to be announced manager, and I didn't tell anyone because NDAs, NDAs are important in this world.
I would have been straight down the buggies, like.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Life revolves around NDAs, didn't you know? But you're both wrong, and the answer is Bobby Robson, so we'll move on from there. Right, we're going to kick it. Favourite game? And I know this is hard because there's a lot, but I'm going to start with Shade.
All right, so I picked
because I know you've actually prepped.
Yeah. I mean,
what are you trying to say?
Yeah, I only picked matches that I've been to, just to kind of keep it easy for myself. But I mean, and we've already kind of touched on them right away at the beginning, but definitely one of my favorite ever matches was, I hate Chelsea, so anytime we beat Chelsea is a great day, but specifically in 2013, when we beat Chelsea 2-0, and like I said, that, Kabaya assist was just fantastic, but it was more just like how the whole day kind of came to be. It was like me and my best friend Jax were living together at the time, and we were like last minute, let's go to the match. We sorted some tickets, and the atmosphere was just amazing then. And I was really excited about Loic Remy. I wish we had kept him. And Mourinho is Mourinho and everything like that. And I don't know why we're always expected to lose against Chelsea. I mean, I think if you're a Newcastle fan, like we can do one for Chelsea. I mean, maybe not Chelsea right now, but like Chelsea cannot play well up north, right? And so it's like, but the media and stuff like that, they love to get on Chelsea's lap and give them a dance, but but it was just so great because we really, really frustrated Mourinho, we really, really frustrated Eden Hazard, and Pardew had that amazing whisper in Kabaya's ear that got him the first goal, and then we got that second one, and it was just like the whole city was just electrified that whole night. I remember I was literally out all day and all night and paid for it the next 2 days, but that was also one of my favorite matches because it was more at a time when I started to really feel like an accepted fan, right? More than just some tourist that was there, studying abroad. Like I was living in South Shields. I was more ingrained in the Northeast, and I really loved it there, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life there and everything like that. And then we had this amazing win, and I was there with my best friend, and and he's diehard Newcastle as well. And it was just one of those perfect days, and I don't think we get a lot of them. And so I really, really savor those perfect days that I had, especially because it hasn't been as perfect since.
Definitely. I think we've had some cracking results against Chelsea. I mean, as
Yeah.
Keith's chucked out again, the 2-0 at their place was unreal. Those two goals.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. But I think, do you know what? One of my favourite games of recent memory was beating Chelsea on Sissoko's debut. And we beat
I was just going to say, his debut.
What a game.
2-0. He got both the goals as well, didn't he?
3-2, man. We beat 3-2.
That's right.
They were
beating
beating us. Yeah, and he scored
Yeah.
twice, and he made Ashley Cole look average, which is
was,
something not many players did.
That was a very rare occurrence where Sissoko actually turned up.
Yeah.
And I've never seen
Back
Ashley
when he
Cole get
cared.
turned that well by a player.
Yeah.
Phenomenal game. But Chelsea, I'm with you. I don't really like Chelsea that much.
No.
But Big G, come on, give it yours.
Right. Full of positivity today.
I want the optimism.
I'm gonna go for Sunderland 1, Newcastle 4.
Oh.
So I chose this one.
Luke wrapped it up.
I chose this one ahead of the 5-1, right? Just because it was in their own backyard and it was, it was unreal. And you know when Albert Luque is racing in on goal and he does a dinky little chip over the goalkeeper to score. When he does that, you know you've had a bad day at the office, because he was awful. But
Who was worse? Who was worse?
Oh, here we go.
Luque or Cisco?
Cisco all day long.
Look, man. But he had a good song, didn't he? Like the chant was great.
I mean, yeah, but that's about it.
I saw him play recently.
Cisco. Say that again.
I saw him play recently, Cisco.
Oh, is he over there?
Yeah, no, he's not over here. He's playing for Penarol, but they did a friendly against LAFC, the MLS squad in LA. And I was like, I'll go to that for $20.
Did he score?
Yeah.
No, but he was absolutely garbage for them too. They lost I think 2-0 or something like that. But
see, that's the good thing there. He's really, really consistent.
He's great.
Yeah, it was still bad. If he played the whole match as well, you wouldn't have known.
Oh, God.
You should have sang to it, man. XISCO.
Everybody be chanting it's too loud there.
We've had some crackers, you know. But go on, Jay. Finish up. 4-1. Luque.
Oh yeah, it was.
Were you there?
It was just.
Yeah.
It was just one of those perfect days, wasn't it? Really, it was just. Oh, and when it comes to like away days, that one just sort of sticks out in my mind massively.
Definitely, it was great. It was great. One of the best away days I've ever been on. The atmosphere was amazing.
And it was just
absolutely
it was just made like even more sweeter because of the whole Shearer thing, and it was just like, and
it was an everything away day, wasn't it? Everything just clicked, and
I remember Nzogbia had a blinder as well, didn't he? And he was just
context. What a baller he was, by the way. He was class.
See, he was another one who was an absolute nutter.
Yeah. I was gutted when we let him go. He went Villa, didn't he?
He did, and then he went to Wigan.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
As you do.
What a downturn. But no, he was another one. Yeah. I'm just going to point this out, right? I've just had a comment come up in the comments, and I'm going to do my don't be a dickhead comment of the day, because we're talking about positivity. There's always one absolute knobhead that has to get involved and spout his opinion. It could be either of us, but...
Yeah, I was like, well, hold on. Oh. It could be any of us.
Can I just... You're a Doylan, bruv. Keep your knobby opinion.
Wait a second. Emma, right? Can you just specify whose forehead are you on?
Could be I'm cracking some.
It's like I've got an excuse. I've got any hair, man. So anyway.
Faces. It's not even in one of his account, but that's my don't be a dickhead of the week. Don't be a dickhead. Right, we're going to do it all time 11. All time 11. and we have to agree.
Oh God.
Whoa.
Right, so we said off air 4-4-2. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Big. That's a good start. Now it's downhill from here.
Yep.
Goalkeeper.
Less pressure than doing it with Warren Barton, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was stressful, man. Argue, Warren, but going, do you know what, Warren? You're wrong. You're wrong, Warren.
Well, disagree, Warren.
Yeah,
Totally.
Look at you with your goldy locks. What do you know?
Yeah, and your shit internet connection.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Anyway,
Warren,
I love him.
Warren,
so.
I am only joking, Warren. You're a mint.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I love
no,
having
you
you
are,
on. Like, your
local,
internet was dreadful.
San Diego loves you.
Yeah, but your internet was dreadful. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, but you were fantastic on the show, and I loved it.
Yeah,
it was
really
brilliant. Was. Just in case. Right, goalkeeper, Warren Barton. Right back, Warren Barton. Goalkeeper.
Got to be Shea Given.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm gonna put
Shea
and Pavel over Kroll, so it's
Yeah. No, I'll go with that.
Right back.
Manquillo. Duh.
Don't you dare.
Come on.
Harvey. We're blessed, man. Danny Simpson, Warren Barton. Let's talk cult heroes. Aaron Hughes for me. But was he a right back? Was he a centre back? Was he in everything? Because he was just mint.
This hurts my head.
Stephen Carr?
No, don't.
DeAndre Yedlin?
Let's stop it.
Oh.
Stop it.
Greatest
Habib
men's player ever.
Are you seriously?
Monday, Habib Bey. Tuesday, Wednesday, Habib Bey.
Now my head really does hurt.
It's always tough because there's not loads that stick out. Ryan Taylor, was he a right back? Was he a left midfielder? Was he
again a midfielder? Was he?
It was just everything.
Last time, but we kind of had to.
It
was like the quickest decision. We were Warren
Yeah.
You know what?
Barton.
You know what? Yeah, Warren Barton because
Warren Barton.
I feel like we were a bit too mean at the start. So
right, centre back 1 and centre back 2. I'm gonna say it, Johnny Woodgate.
Real Madrid's
Woody
fine.
for me.
Yeah.
Graham disagrees. Come on.
No, I don't. I'm just trying to make it more dramatic, I suppose.
Let's go for him. So we got Woody, Albert.
I would go Albert.
Howie. Colaccini.
Ooh.
And if you sing his song, you get extra points. There's nothing to win, but I just want someone else to sing it. I've been trying to get someone to sing it since the very first episode.
I'm not going to sing it.
I'll sing it. I'll sing it with you.
I'm not going to sing it. It's you know why? Because it's insulting to bald people.
I'm not going to let him win.
Philippe Albert for me.
Albert with Woody, or
Yeah.
It's a toss up for me between him and Colaccini.
Yeah.
Just because
my money would go.
Just because Colaccini was when he was on it, he was
he was brilliant.
He was
absolutely. He just didn't start well, did he? That's the problem.
He didn't end well either. That was the shame as well.
That middle bit
was class.
Yeah, the middle.
I want curly hair too.
Yeah.
But no, I think Albert just offers a little bit something more, and he was different.
It's just that chip.
Yeah,
that was it. That chip. Oof.
He gets
left
into
back,
that alone.
Definitely, because I hate Schmeichel. Left back. Enrique?
No.
Dummett?
No.
Beresford?
See, I was gonna say.
I'll go with Beresford.
I was gonna say Beresford or Bernard.
Bernard. I was just getting to Bernard. One of the best moments I've ever seen was when he got knocked out by Robert. To be fair, that was incredible.
I mean,
I'd go Beresford.
Surprised none of you have said Babiaro, for goodness sake. What a legend.
I've got a funny story about Babiaro, but
I also have to say Beresford because I have a funny Beresford story real quick. When I was still kind of getting acclimated to the history of our club and stuff like that. So still very, very green in that respect. I was in the posh seats with one of my best mates, Joe, and Beresford was like doing the, like the pre-game talk at the dinner tables and everything like that. And I didn't know who he was at the time. And Joe knew I didn't know who he was at the time. So I told him to come over and tell him I was his biggest fan. So he comes over and he's like talking to me about all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I love you, mate. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, let me get a photo. And like, he's like, he has no clue who you are. And I was like, but he was really nice. And then all I did was read about everything he did after that, because I was like, I'm not going to be in that situation again.
He was a decent player, man. I remember him being absolutely smashed in the Paddy Power fan park watching England v Scotland. Like, he was so drunk. It was unreal. I'm gonna go back. I'm looking at right backs because this is just how I work. Andy Griffin,
No, I'm sorry. Come on.
No. What do you mean?
Just because he scored against Juve, man.
And Charlton. All right, we'll stick with Wazza. We'll stick with right mid.
Solano.
Yeah.
That was difficult.
Next.
2 centre midfielders. And I'm going to... Gary Speed's in. I'm not even...
Gary Speed, Rob Lee.
Shout. Lee. I'm not going to have Lee, though.
All right.
I'm going to let Shade have Kabaya.
Yeah.
No.
I am.
Come on, we never go modern anyways.
We're going modern.
There's
very rare that we go modern.
There's a reason for that.
Well, yeah,
Rob Lee was brilliant, and he's from my neck of the woods, and he's a proper Londoner.
Fine,
but
you can have your own kebab.
I'm going to let Shane have a proper kebab for a change.
Yeah, give me the kebab.
Right, now let's argue about left midfield.
Genoa, all day long.
Robert.
No.
Ooh.
Genoa.
See, I think I'm at Ginola.
Who with?
Ginola.
Oh, you're both wrong.
Sorry, bro.
Right, we're going Ginola.
I love you, mate.
Love you too.
Yeah, you know what?
He was class. Like,
as much as I loved Robert, I just feel like Ginola was a tiny bit more consistent, and he offered a bit more than Robert.
I'll give you it. And that hair. I know you don't want to talk about hair, G, but that hair.
And he came into our squad with something to prove after all that, after what had happened in France.
Yeah.
It was one, like, I remember the goal, and do not ask me to attempt to say the team. It was in Europe.
For Flaz.
That's them, the Turkish team. Ferencváros and Ferencváros.
That
goal. Have you ever seen the kick-up goal?
No.
Against Flaz.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
Flef.
Ginola versus. Just type in FER and it should come up. It's like Ferencváros or something. Flefferflesh. But what? Honestly, you'll never see a goal like it.
It's one of those teams that you can say when you're absolutely bad.
Yeah.
But you can't.
The
say
more
it when
pissed you are, the easier it is to say it. Ferencváros. Just YouTube Ginola goals and it'll be on there.
Yeah,
that one.
It is one of those goals you'll look at and go, "How the hell has he just done that?" And the shot at the end's ridiculous because there's not even that much power in it. He just sort of positions it into the top corner. Absolutely stunning. And the one against Manchester Reds as well.
And in the
5-0.
Just gonna put it out there, but the next two options are gonna be so easy. So
So who's playing up front alongside Shearer?
Ferdinand.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we not pick Shearer this time?
What?
Shade.
Get out.
Shade. It was nice having you on the show this week.
No.
See you later.
It's the
all right,
obvious.
go on. Do you know what?
There goes your Gallagher shot show.
He's always going to be in your all-time 11, and he should.
Decker's not going to let you on.
Rightfully so, right? He's always going to be every Newcastle United supporter's favorite player, and rightfully so as well. Well, let's if we want to go a little less obvious for Graham, Why don't we
Hey,
go?
don't put this on me. Don't put this.
All
on
right,
me.
all right. So who's going up? Who's going up front with Ferdinand?
Demba Ba.
That's Bria.
Bar and Ferdinand. Do you know what
That's
I'm going
Bria.
to do? Right, I'm going to drop. I don't need a left back. See you later, John Beresford.
What is this?
We're changing it up. We're going 3-4-3.
All right, I'm with that. There we go. And then we
Listen,
keep everybody happy.
When did we ever have a team where we defended well? We don't need a left back. You score one, we'll score two. Remember Keegan?
Fair enough. Go on.
We've
That
been
is
playing
it. So-
Can I just say that we didn't
Newcastle.
pick Keegan, so can we just add Keegan in there somewhere?
We'll put him as manager.
Yeah,
Maybe
KK
player
manager.
There you go.
Yeah, he's player manager and he comes on as a sub for Warren Barton.
All right.
So we've got Shay Given, Warren Barton until halftime, and then he swapped with Keegan. Philippe Albert and Woody are just gonna do what they do.
Can I just say, like, there'll be people watching this thinking that we're deadly serious, by the way.
We are deadly serious. by the
So
way.
to those people, hi. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the most serious Newcastle podcast on the whole of YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why I agreed to come on.
Like,
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
let's talk about. No, let's not. Then we've got Solano, Speed, Kabaya, Ginola, just behind Alan Shearer, Demba Ba, and Les Ferdinand / Tino Asprilla. You can't beat that team.
No.
We're going to concede 11, but we're going to score 24. So who cares?
All that matters, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, that's a pretty decent defense, actually. To be fair.
Do you know what? Barton, Albert, and Woody would do a job.
Oh, they do a better job than the defense we have right now.
I mean, I can do a better defense than the one we have right now. Just on my own.
Just being there and being in the right
Sorry,
place
lads.
will help. Yeah, it's all right. See, the positivity's died. Well done. But we're going to call it down. I'm going to say a massive, massive thank you to you two for coming on the first Cockney Magpie on Newcastle Fans TV. You're more than welcome to come back on whenever you want.
Cool. I'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. I'll see you next week, lads.
All right. Everybody take